It is kind of weird on a Sunday to be on here, but I decided to come on here because I had an interesting conversation with somebody in the chat for Echo Base Network, and I thought it was worth actually talking about because it is something that kind of occurred to me before, but I wasn't sure until I heard it talked about in the chat. Here's what happened. Lady named Deborah Young, if she's finds out that I gave her a shout out, hey Deborah, thank you for reminding me of my theory. The big investors meeting with the hedge fund guys, BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, is on the 9th of, hey Dave, is on the 9th of March. And I did some looking into, look who it is. Look. You wanted to say hi. Yeah, it was, but I'm not, it was stuff we already knew. I want to talk about that too. Here he is, he's back. He's back. Oh, take your ball. Don't hurt yourself though. Oh. He's just, yeah, here he comes. He's coming right back. It's very interesting to me what she said. She basically said, the rumor is the Bobs want Kennedy to address the investors at the meeting on March 9th. So basically what they want is to put her in front of the hedge fund assholes. Let me explain this to you guys who these guys are. We have Mortimer Buckley, who is a Harvard MBA, business school. We have Ron O'Hanley, who's also a Harvard MBA, business school. Lawrence Fink, who owns or who runs BlackRock, is a billionaire. And he's got like a USC MBA or something like that. These guys are serious. These guys are they move billions of dollars every goddamn day. And these guys are the ones who run the show for, just a minute, stop that! Go get your other ball, weirdo. They basically run the show in lots of ways. And if you remember Doomcock's story from last summer, that around July the 3rd, or right around in that end of June, one of the big investment money guys showed up at the ranch, Skywalker Ranch, and said, is it true that there's a Lucas Abrams cut? The guys there said, yes, there is. I'd like to see it. They showed it to him. He walked out, he didn't say a word. Walked out, didn't say a word. He was so goddamn mad, he could hardly speak. Because it would not have saved the sequel trilogy, because there's nothing, you can't save it. But it was better than what they got, and probably would have sold more tickets. So when you think about that meeting, think about those guys. Go look them up on Google, Wikipedia, their companies' sites. I will, if I remember, put a link to information about these guys in this. So we've got a rumor that the Bobs want her to talk to them. This is something I thought would actually happen. This is something that I think needs to happen. This is something that is going to put her in her place once and for all. You got to understand, and this is my other point today, and bear with me, A lot of the stuff that we're hearing about now happened 2 weeks ago. I want you to understand Kennedy whining about hate speech, not about hate speech, but about hate mail. How did she get it the day after? Gina's firing. We all know how long it takes the U.S. Postal Service to move. So I think that's all a hoax. I think as it gets on, we'll find out that things have changed drastically. Because if you notice, these hit pieces on Gina are lame. The Inverse article about going after Rosario Dawson is half-assed and half-baked. The idea 2 weeks ago that Kennedy, he's nuts. He's a certifiable lunatic. I want everybody to know that. Look at him. Anyway, the stuff about Rosario Dawson, they're never going to get rid of her. And it looks to me like if BlackRock and those guys want to push it, that Gina will come back. In fact, I think that, she's been pretty quiet. Hey, Darkstar. She's been real quiet. I follow her on Insta, and she's posting stuff from Appalachia. I think she's hiking or something, but she's not around. Okay. Yes, you just saw my dog throw a ball over my shoulder. And it's under there. It's literally. So she's quiet. She's like out far away. She's not saying anything more. And I really, really think the Ben Shapiro interview with her killed whatever plans Kennedy had. All right. People now know. They've seen her tweets. And if you're a business person and you see the fact that the lockdowns don't work, even if you're a lefty, you're probably... I'm having so much fun right now. Oh, Mike, we're just talking about a thing I learned last night. It's a rumor that the Bobs want Kennedy to address the big investors meeting, like the big guys meeting, on March the 9th. And it's funny, but I checked these guys out. You can find it easy. Just Google who are the biggest investors at Disney, who owns the most stock. And it's BlackRock Investments, it's Vanguard, and it's State Street. And the guy that runs BlackRock is a billionaire. The other two are Harvard MBAs. So we're not talking stupid. The guy that runs BlackRock, I think, is probably a billionaire. Or he is a billionaire, but he is a billionaire. And he's probably, I think, an MBA from USC or something. But they're basically putting her up against the wolves. This is if the rumor's true. And I reminded people of the Doomcock story that was, if you remember, the big investment guy that showed up at the ranch last summer, saw the Lucas Abrams cut of Tross and was goddamn pissed off. A lot of the stuff, and the reason why she's been cut, like set aside with not much to do, is because I think of that. And now the Bobs are like, you can go and tell the guys, the big dogs, or the lawful mafia, as it were, what all this is about, all right? And try to prove to them that it's really, a good thing that Gina was fired, and that you fucked up, Rangers of the New Republic, which was going to be Gina's show, definitely. You're trying to fuck up Ahsoka. You are basically hurting their investments. You can go and tell them that. She's a coward and she won't do it. And here's the thing. If she doesn't, and I'm not going to tell you who I was talking to, but if she doesn't show up and doesn't do it, she's a coward. She's insubordinate. They can fire her. If she does show up and gets ripped apart, they'll still fire her. She's damned if she doesn't. She's damned if she doesn't. Okay? It's way different than a win-win situation now, isn't it? See, we're all feeding on news from 2 weeks ago. Stuff that, just happened. And then Gina's interview literally, I think, probably blew up any sort of momentum Kennedy felt like she had. Now, if you see people talking about getting Rosario, whatever, they're not going to. I don't see how that can happen now. I don't. Look, here he is again. Ta-da! See? Kojak. See? This is my life. I should be at the barn with the horse cleaning her off and making her look pretty. And this guy, we had to go grocery shopping, so this guy needs some attention. So, he is a good dog. Hey, Hound, what are you doing? Get your ball. But anyway, I want to tell you guys that we're hey, Anton. We're running on old news. I mean, a lot of this stuff that Doomcock reported probably happened this week. Probably happened within the first 48 hours. All right, so we don't know what's going on now. Okay, and we just gotta wait and see. I suspect that the momentum she thought she had isn't what it was. Okay, and it's just gonna be really interesting going into this week. Yeah, and if she doesn't show up, if they say you are to be here at the Burbank Studios for this conference with these guys, they want to talk to you, they want to meet with you. If she doesn't show up, she's fired. And it would behoove you to do it. Despite what are you doing? God. Despite what she thinks, she's not the boss. She has people to answer to. Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, and a guy named Mortimer Buckley, a guy named Lawrence Fink, and a guy named Ron O'Hanlon. Those guys. And, get off my foot. Those guys might not be, Chapek and Iger might not be the big, tough, rough customers like Lee Iacocca was, etc. But I tell you one thing, the guys that run those hedge funds are. And I can't imagine how unhappy they are with all this. And again, we are running on news that's days late. But we can only get what we get. There isn't really anything new coming out because no one's reported it. And no one I know that's contacted said anything. We don't really know what the feeling is in Hollywood on the street. I find it interesting that the hit pieces on Gina were lame. They didn't really go anywhere. And basically her interview shot them all down. The people that are on Twitter still complaining about her, they're pretty much, you know, they really don't really have anything to say anymore. It's really interesting to me. Okay, now you got it in a spot you can't get it out. Over by the tackle box. He is just what? You guys, this dog he is incredible. If you knock down that table, I will kill you. All right, I gotta get the ball. Oh, you got it. Good boy. Out. Don't come by me. Ah, here he comes again. See? But it's really interesting to me watching all this happen and seeing where it's going. I'm really just thinking that all the gloom and doom right now isn't really that gloomy. I'm really thinking that a lot of the stuff that we were told the last few days, again, is probably a few days old from when it happened. A day old, if that. The Kennedy running scared stuff, I'm sure, came after she realized people weren't believing her. Yes, the Bobs are aware of who Jason Ward is. Somebody told them. Yes, they are aware of others. Somebody told them. Will they do anything about it? I don't know. But the names are now were mentioned in dispatches. So we just gotta see. Pirates and Princesses reported another Disney employee attacking Gina. It's like, you really want your job? Do ya? Then shut the fuck up. All right? Just, no one cares anymore. We don't want to hear about it. And that's basically the thing that people need, that they need to be told. Shut up about this problem or you're fired. Okay? This dog, okay, see, here he is. Kojak. Ah! Hey, that's my shirt, jerk. Let go of my shirt. I just got this shirt. It's never ending with the shepherd puppy, I tell ya. But he's a good boy. Anyway, I wanted to tell you guys, and I haven't heard anything new at all. And yesterday was the first time I'd heard that they want her to address the hedge fund guys. And if that's the case, she's done. She's done no matter what happens. And I think that's why she's running scared. And that's why we're seeing lame-ass attacks on, oh, he doesn't bark much. He cries like a little bitch if he's in his kennel and I'm not. I've got other things to do. But when he barks, it's a mighty bark. It's a big, loud, deep woof, woof, woof. But he's a good boy. But last night was the first time I heard that rumor. And I don't know where it came from. So it might have come from Pirates and Princesses, it might have come from Doomcock, but he hasn't put that down anywhere. Midnight's Edge hasn't talked about it, and I haven't heard anything back from Tom. He's probably sleeping today because he was up doing streams all night. It's just, we just gotta wait and see. I'm sure there's gonna be more news this week, and we'll just see what happens. What? I don't know. But I wanted to tell you guys this, so don't feel too gloomy yet. We haven't seen the end of this. Act One is indeed, well, Act One is over. And it's not good for Kennedy because I find it funny that she thinks she can gaslight the Bobs into saying that's all the fans' fault. Let me have this money. I'll bring better fans in. It's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. What a plan. It's not working. They're not stupid. I'm sure if she tries to do that with the hedge fund guys, they will tear her to pieces. But go ahead, yeah, the robot head video is very interesting. It's really funny, the weird sense of solidarity. Ouch! That was me, you jerk. Get your foot off me. The weird sense of solidarity that Hollywood has with Roman Polanski. It doesn't surprise me. Their reasoning is this happened a long time ago, and the girl in question, that 13-year-old girl, she's like, it's over. It happened a long time ago. I'm over it. Let it go. It's the state of California that won't let it go, and in some ways, the state of California is right. I want you to wonder out loud, though, if Sharon had been alive to see that, if he had tried that with her alive, what exactly would she have done? She'd have killed him. She'd have divorced his ass, and he would have been in trouble. He would have gotten in trouble. And, the thing about it is, weirdly about the Polanski thing is a lot of these guys blame what's happened with him and various young girls on what happened to Sharon. And I think he was doing that while Sharon was alive. And she just didn't catch it. All right. Anyway, back to Kennedy. But that was part of it, being hypocritical about Polanski and then not going off on Weinstein until it was cool to go off on Weinstein. And Kennedy kept her mouth shut. And then she announced zero tolerance policy. It's like, really? When she may have her own Me Too issue herself? Think about it. Anyway, this dog is driving me nuts right now. I don't know what he wants. I think he wants to go out the window here, and he's just a good boy. He's gotten more cuddly too. So what do you guys think? Do you think there's any truth to this hedge fund rumor? I have done my due diligence, and these guys are hard asses. I can't imagine their feelings on 2 cents a share when it's running at like $189 a share. I can't imagine. I can't imagine them after seeing the reaction of the fans, despite what Kennedy says, which has been huge. Whoa, Kojak. Sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm back. Yeah, well, they have to be looking at the YT comments. I mean, it is, that's what I'm thinking is that, and I'm thinking the Bobs have too. And they're like, what fans are you talking about? These people love Gina. And then looking at all of Gina's tweets going, she really didn't say anything that was bad. And in her interview, she seems she's a nice person. So what's your problem? And this is gonna bite Kennedy in the ass, and it's gonna be great to see. I can't. This is gonna be great to see. But anyway, I gotta go because I've got Coffee McCofferton down here, so I gotta take him out, let him go do his business, and then figure out what to do for the rest of the day. That doesn't include this dude, Kojak. Kojak. They can't ignore that. They can't ignore the comments on the Facebook page for Star Wars. They can't, they can't ignore it. I can't imagine. I mean, how many pro Kennedy comments have you seen? None. Very few. And that's the audience she's catering to. I mean, if you took away the hate views from the High Republic videos, they wouldn't have any views. They wouldn't. Oh, he's just being a snot. He needs to go back outside. Of course he wants me to play with him. I play with him constantly though. But anyway, so you guys just keep your eyes open, and if Doomcock comes out with something later today or maybe tomorrow, I'll be back with more. But just remember that news is probably weeks old, because we're going on 3 weeks now on this, and it's not going away. This blew up in her face, and despite people saying that she's such a powerful woman in Hollywood, I don't think she's as powerful as she used to be. I don't. Okay? In fact, I think she's pretty much, they'll see her for who she is. The Empress has no clothes. Anyway, this is Steph. I gotta go. Signing out. See you around the galaxy.